I'm a pretty big fan of Jet Li. So when I heard that he was going to be in a new movie, I was like, huh, okay, let's pull up the trailer. And then I saw that this movie was going to be directed by Yuen Woo-Ping, and I was like, I have to see this. I have to see this in the theater. I have to seek it out. When's it coming out? Let's make plans, all the things. So I did. I went and saw it. Let's talk about Blades of the Guardians. Directed by the legendary Hong Kong martial arts choreographer Yuen Woo-Ping, Blades of the Guardians tells the story of Dao Ma, the second most wanted fugitive, who is entrusted by his benefactor, the chief of Mo family clan, to take on a mysterious escort mission, escorting the most wanted fugitive to Chang'an. The movie stars Jing Wu, Nicholas Tse, and Yosh Yu, with a special appearance by Jet Li. Now, I don't know if you know this, but I am a martial arts fanatic. Like, I love martial arts movies. I have ever since they started playing them on Channel 21 here in Dallas, Fort Worth on Saturday afternoons. It was something I always look forward to. I love these movies. And it doesn't matter if the stories don't make any sense. Like, I don't care. I don't care. I just like watching the martial arts action. Now, what's kind of interesting is that flies in the face of pretty much everything I say about most movies. Like, for me, story is always the most important, and action is secondary to plot and all that stuff, and characters, good characters, all that kind of thing. But I just don't care. And sometimes the story just doesn't even matter. It's how cool are the fight scenes? Like, how cool are the fight scenes? And I'm happy. So I'm going to say this. If you're a martial arts fan like I am, if anything I said just made sense to you and you're like, yeah, I like martial arts films like that too, stop what you're doing. Stop right now. Go look online and see if you can find a theater that's playing Blades of the Guardians. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. It took us over an hour both ways to get to this theater. It wasn't playing anywhere near me. So it was a bit of a hike to go see this. And for me, it was completely worth it. Completely worth it. And I'll also say this is incidentally the same theater where I first watched Attack of the Clones and V for Vendetta. So it's kind of it's weird. There's a little bit of history. I didn't realize it when I, bought my tickets, but I was like, oh yeah, I've been to this theater a couple of times at least. The action in this movie is absolutely sublime. If you're a fan, you're gonna have a lot to feast your eyes upon. This movie is beautifully choreographed. Like, every fight scene is great. Like, really, really great. And I keep seeing, I don't know about you, but I keep seeing these fights, these AI fights, on Twitter or whatever. No, you go watch this and you go, yeah, AI can't touch this yet. This is some of the best fight choreography I've ever seen. Like, literally ever seen. And I've seen a lot of movies. There is a scene with fire it's awesome. I'm just going to say it's awesome. It's a fight scene with fire and it's great. Like I said, for somebody like me, this is, I cannot tell you enough how much fun I had watching this movie. Now, the acting is great. Like, across the board, I had no problems with any of the acting. The storyline, however, there's a lot. Just like a lot of these films, there is a lot of plot thrown at you. And from somebody who is not Chinese and doesn't have, the history memorized and all that kind of stuff, we're talking about different clans and then different emperors and princes and all these things that are going on in this movie. I honestly couldn't tell you much about what the storyline is, except for what I told you. I mean, that I got. But it's like, when they start talking about all these names, it was like, wow. And there are a lot of speaking parts in this film. There's a lot of different people. And it's kind of hard to keep track of them all. But the base story is really fun. And I really man, this movie's just cool. I will say one of the things that really kind of bothered me when I first watched the trailer was all of the CG elements that were going to be in it. And I'm like, there's a lot of CG in this. There's been a lot of martial arts films that have come out, I would say, over the last 15 years that rely a little too heavily on the CG, and it just takes me out of the movie, and the fight scenes aren't as cool when there's all the CG stuff happening, around. There are a couple of scenes like that, but for the most part, this stuff is done in camera. It's for real. It looks awesome, and you're going to have a great time. Seeing it on the big screen, there were multiple scenes where I started to well up because I was like, this is so awesome. to see a movie like this in the theater, big screen, big sound, all that stuff, I was having a great time. I will mention though, when I say a special guest appearance by Jet Li, I mean that. He's not in it a whole lot. I mean, he's semi-retired. So it's not exactly going to be a Jet Li, powerhouse film like the old days, like Fist of Legend and all those. But it's a worthy scene. And like I said, I got the tears welling up because it was just like, I cannot believe I'm seeing a Jet Li fight scene on the big screen. It's great. It's great stuff. So yeah, if you're a fan of martial arts films, it's no brainer. Go see it. For everyone else, I would say watch the trailer. And if the trailer speaks to you, then yeah, go for it. But there's going to be a lot of plot thrown at you. That's just how these movies are. And you also have to keep in mind that if you see it in the theater today, you're going to be watching it with subtitles. So that is something to keep in mind as well. I have no problem with that. I'm used to that. I always watch my martial arts films with subtitles because I like to hear the actor's performance. And sometimes that takes away from you actually seeing some of the action on screen. But for the most part, when things start happening and things start, the swords are flying about and they're flying about, yeah, you're not going to have to read much. You know what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind. So, Blades of the Guardians. Look, if you've seen it or you're planning to see it, I would love to hear from you. Like, did you have problems with it, or were you just delighted like I was? Let's talk about it in the comment section below. But I do want to thank my level 2 members before I go. That's Filbert, Jody B, Metal Raven, Ninjinzu, and Style Fox. Guys, thank you so much for the support. You know it means a lot to me. And of course, thanks to all my level 1 members as well. You guys are awesome. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.